How y'all doing out there today? Welcome to the show. This is Nothing But Facts, and I'm your host, Papa G.
Get a job and work, that shit didn't work. Say all I'm qualified to do is rhyme and spit a verse. Get my feelings hurt every time I sit in church. Real talking dead at me, nigga got me feeling worse. So I ain't congregating about 7 to 8 months. Broke the promise made to myself and started back blazing blunts. I know that's crazy, huh? Feeling like a bad man. I look at me in the mirror, all I see is my dad, man. I got some things that I need to address. Couple issues need to get off my chest. Like the fact that I got a son, I ain't been kicking it with him. Got him a ball, I ain't been kissing it with him. Yeah, I miss my little nigga. I try to get him, but me and his mama don't get along. I mean, I call, but the bitch when I pick up the phone, my therapist asked me what I do, the things that I does. Got up, looked her in the eye, my reply was, exist inside me. I need to get exercise. Otherwise, my environment would be to provide on my demise. Proceed to cry, cause deep inside I know she wasn't lying. Was caught up in a thought of seeing my life televised. So before I go any further, let me apologize for my deeds and all these things that I glorify. Forgive me, Lord, God, I'm an angel trying to fly with broken wings, vision blinded through these clouded skies. And every time I close my eyes and hit my knees, I'm praying about the same sins: fornication, lust, and greed, gluttony, lying, cussing, thugging, cheating. And what I'm supposed to say to Jesus? Hey, wasn't me. Yeah, I was headstrong, a smart kid, but led wrong. My excuses are useless, the bottom line, I'm dead wrong. The soundtrack to my soul is nothing near hype. I spit my diary over instrumentals, it's my real life. God, every year gone. Blessed me with a couple of kids and I ain't this shit for them. At least that's the picture that they mama painted of me in court. Got all these receipts and still ain't keep me on for child support. Swear to God, sometimes I wish I wouldn't have left it in. Missing my twins and wishing I could be next to them. Can't be a father, just money orders and checks to them. Since I can't be with them, at least send me some pictures, damn. Childish chick playing games and I don't like the shit. 400 miles away, so it's complicated to fight the shit. No conversation, no visitation, it's spiteful shit. Finally understand how a grown man can fight a bitch. I fucked up, it's my fault, I take my charge. I admit it, damn, you gotta take my heart. The first bitch took my son, now you gon' take my stars. Man, that's below the belt, man, I can't even fight no more. I feel like, I feel like, I feel like, I feel like,
No one knows what it's like to be the bad man, bad man. But I've been the bad man all my life. You understand? That hit is Bad Man by Dreezy Drama. Check him out on the YouTube. Young man is awesome. But today's show is Christians Do Hate. And we do hate because the Creator has things that he hates. And I'm on his side. So whatever he hate, I hate. All right? I am a true follower. So let's get down. First, we're going to start out with our prayer. You understand? Because it's important that we start our show out with the prayer all the time. So if anybody interested, we're in Lamentations chapter 3, verses 64 through 66. And it reads, Render unto them a recompense, O Lord, according to the work of their hands. Give them sorrow of heart. Thy curse unto them. Persecute and destroy them in anger from under the heavens of the Lord. May the Lord add a blessing to the hearing and receiving and the reading of his word, because there are things that the Lord do hate. All right. Now, we are having a community conversation here today. And the community conversation we are having is to expose the bully. And who's the bully? The bully is child support. The bully is the attorney general. The bully is the family court, the state, federal, and local government. It's the minister at your church. It's the Department of Education. It's the Department of Corrections. It's all the authorities that be that are working hand and foot to benefit off black misery, off, correction, because this is nothing but facts, off middle class and poor misery. I have grown just in the time that I've started this show to understand that this tragedy is being visited upon all of us here in America indiscriminately who are not in the word or in the word. The ones that are not in the word, they're victimized and they don't have a clue. But the ones that are in the word, we have to understand that they are trying to get us to submit and look at them as the authority when we have already submitted to our authority. Okay? And so now what we have to say is, no, we set aside. We set aside. Yes, the criminal justice system can do man and man, woman and woman, whatever y'all want to call it. But marriage is a sacred covenant entered into by a man and a woman, and it's ordained by the Creator. So, we don't want the covenant of marriage dealt with in the criminal justice system anymore. They are coming into a situation at its most tender time when the man and the woman are upset with each other. And then instead of saying, we're going to do what's helpful to help the family, so that even though you guys are going your separate ways, we're going to help this to be just a bump in the road, but the children will be as unaffected as possible. They step in and choose a side and say, it's us against him, or it's us against her. But they are keeping the fight going either way, and we have to say, no. The same way we acknowledge that it is insane to have the men to raise all of the girls is the same way we acknowledge it's insane to have the women raising all of the boys. And with that, we put our foot down with one righteous stamp, boom, and be like, we're not playing. We want a law universally across the United States of America that says when a couple separates, the male child goes with the father. We have to, for the good of society, make this law. We have to. Okay? We are going to be conquered as a nation if we don't shore up the family structure. Yes, a woman can stop a bullet just as good as a man, and a gay can stop a bullet just as good as a straight. But the assignment is for the head of the household to defend the family, the nation. You understand? And with us being out of order like this, we're going to be conquered. All right? We have to get back, wrestle back control. We are more than them if we speak up, because the reason they are speaking so loudly and have the politicians and the musicians and the entertainers and all of that type of stuff is because it's a fight going on as to who can win the more souls. And if you sitting there as a Christian with your mouth shut, you are helping us to lose this fight. So let's get off into it. So we go over to Proverbs chapter 6, verses 16 and 17, right? And it says, these 6 things do it the Lord hate. Okay? Yea, 7 are an abomination unto him. A proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood. Now, they didn't say the Lord frown on. They used a powerful word, hate. Okay, hate is very, very strong. Okay, so then we're going to skip over and we're going to get down to Proverbs chapter 6, verse 24 through 26. And this right here, what I'm about to read, was part of my guiding light into helping me to conquer lust and fornication, you know, and well, I didn't conquer it, but turn it over to him and allow him to wash me free of it. Okay? It says, to keep thee from the evil woman, from the flattery of the tongue of a strange woman. Lust not after her in beauty. Thine heart neither let her take thee with her eyelids. For by means of a whorish woman, a man is brought to a piece of bread, and the adulteress will hunt for the precious life. Can a man take fire? I'm sorry, I did not mean to read that. I wanted to stop right there because it clearly tells you that a whorish woman will take a man down to a piece of bread. That goes your generational wealth. Child support knows this. The Attorney General knows this. The federal government knows this. The state and local the government knows this. That's their number one motivation is they need this labor. They cannot afford to allow you to come together as a family unit and realize what your labor force is capable of and how you guys can create something and pull yourself up by your own bootstraps, like they like to say, and experience generational wealth. These people, I'm trying to tell you. Now, so if God has things that he hates, that means we must hate those things too. You understand me? So you see, the church can't be diverse. The church cannot be diverse because we have rules that we have no choice but to follow. We have no choice but to follow these rules. We didn't put these rules here. These rules was here when we got here. You understand? So homosexuals, they cannot have their own church. I'm sorry, you cannot. That's an abomination. Murderers cannot have their own church. Pedophiles can't have their own church. Only people of faith can have one. Now, we're not perfect, you know, but what I will not sit still by and be quiet about is I know God was not going to accept me being a lustful man who tried to conquer women and keep putting notches on my belt. I knew that I had to repent from my sin. And I had to turn it over to him and allow him to be my leader and my guide and follow his instructions so I don't do that no more. So then these people are wrestling with sin. And they want you to believe that the Father is just going to accept them as they are in their sin. Don't listen to this foolishness. Okay? There is no two people of the same sex that can enter into the sacred covenant of marriage. That is not true. That is an abomination. That is an abomination. And you and I both know it is. So we're not going to play around with this thing. We're not going to tiptoe through the tulips about it, because if we do, I think that the world that we're going to hand our children when we close our eyes is not going to be one that we recognize. Okay? So, look, fathers, we was here first. Okay? And men, we're going to get a serious scolding for surrendering this place to the woman and that old serpent. You understand? For not standing up and for participating in creating a world where he could easily move to and fro and confuse everybody because you want to keep your mouth shut and mind your business. Because you don't want to get hurt. This ain't that. This ain't that. This is a spiritual war. Now, I don't know what you know what a war is, but a war ain't no singing. A war is swinging. A war is bloody. A war is fought. That takes action, violence. Don't let Hollywood fool you and have you thinking that Christians are supposed to just continually be meek and humble while you see the preacher got a pistol ready to pop somebody's child. You understand me? So then we get on over here to 1 Corinthians chapter 11. And we're going to do verses 3 through 12. All right? Hallelujah. And it says, but I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Christ is God. We're going to stop right there for a second, just right there for a second. You understand me? Because there goes the pecking order. I didn't make this up. I didn't create this. I didn't write this. With me saying this, if you got a problem with it, you ain't got a problem with me. Know this. You got a problem with the Creator, the Almighty. Because he the one saved us here. All right? So if I am the head of you, why am I the head of you? Because I gave birth to you. Okay? You see, the Creator created me. That's how come he's the head of me. Because with his hands, he shaped and formed me. But then you came from me. You didn't come from him. What that mean? That mean you belong to me. That's why you're supposed to listen at what I'm telling you. I'm not making none of this up. I'm not being no arrogant male or none of this other old false machismo people trying to say. I was in this house by myself. And he said it's not right for Gil to be alone. So he sent me and helped me. That don't mean when you come, now you in charge. I'm in charge. Okay. So we're going to keep on reading. We're going to check it out. You dig? So every man praying or professing having his head covered dishonored his head. But every woman that prayed or prophesied with her head uncovered dishonored her head, for that is even all one as if she was shaven. Listen, right there is some different rules. It's a set of different rules. Okay? There has always been a set of different rules. There is never going to be what you call equality. For the simple fact you ain't going to die for me. I'm going to die for you. For the simple fact when you came, my job was to protect her and provide for her. Why? Because this is yours. I gave this to you. So now you got to look out for her with your stuff. Whose stuff is it? It's my stuff. What stuff am I talking about? I'm talking about this whole earth. He gave me dominion. When you got here, you was like, what that's called? That's called an elephant. What that's called? That's called a lion. What that's called? That's called a fish. That's the only way you know what everything is. You know how I know what everything is? Because me and the Creator sat down and he listened as I was saying, I'm going to call that a fish. I'm going to call that a zebra. And he gave me the mind to do that. There is no connection with chill like that. These are my children. The Attorney General, the federal, the state, the local government, everybody knows this. The minister at your church, he knows this. He reads the same book I read. He way more powerful than me. I'm just a babe in the word. I'm trying to read for myself, figure it out for myself, learn for myself, and letting the Spirit just talk to me. Leading my steps, guiding my steps. Let's get back into it. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want nobody trying to act like I'm the one that's arrogant. I'm the one, because I ain't twisting nothing. I'm reading it direct for what it said. You understand? It say, for a man indeed ought not to cover his head, for as so much he is the image and glory of God. But the woman is the glory of man. I just explained to you why you are the glory of me and I am the glory of him. When we started this, we went through the pecking order before I even started breaking this down, because it's clear. Anything you're doing outside of this is perverted. When you try to make it seem like something wrong with me wanting to be in charge, when you talking when I'm talking, when you doing anything, when you trying to show aggression to me, when you feeling some type of way, all right, and so you got a black heart, all this type of thing, you in my house. Well, I got domain over the whole thing, and you want to take my children. Don't partner with them. I'm exposing the game they playing because they want labor. And I need you to be strong enough to say, he's telling the truth. We're going to give the boys to their father. Marriage is between a man and a woman and nothing else. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. Okay? So we go on. For the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. I'm not making any of this up. Okay, in Genesis, they said he caused me to go into a deep sleep and took a rib to make you. And it said that he formed me out of his own hands. So, don't mess with me now. because I'm not making none of this up. For this cause ought the woman to have power on her head because of the angels. Nevertheless, neither is the man without the woman, neither the woman without the man in the Lord. You see what he just said? You see what he just said? Look, we way here in Corinthians, and he still is not stressing a need for man and man and woman and woman. Look how far we are. It's almost over. How far you think we got to go before we get to Revelation? If we're in 1 Corinthians. And he's still stressing the order because he knows he saw Eve struggling with it from the beginning. That's why he said to Adam, because you hearken unto your wife, because you ain't supposed to be listening to this woman. That old Gluck, 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 though, boy, that's something, huh? Yes, indeed. So, we go on and we say, nevertheless. No, I'm sorry, I just read that. For as the woman is of the man, what did they say? They say, for as the woman is of the man, that means that you came from me. Okay? For as the woman is of the man, even so is the man also by the woman, but all things of God. Judge in yourselves, is it comely that a woman pray unto God uncovered? So, we just keeping it real right here. Doing, nothing but facts. Nothing but facts. I don't have time for the silly season. Not at all. I don't want people running around here with the idea of thinking that they can add to or take away from, okay? Because the canon is closed. That's just the bottom line. It was closed long before any of us got here. These people that's trying to come off with this new stuff, the canon had long been, decided long before these folks got here. Now, I quite often say on my show that sodomy is not legal, and I want to make a correction because here I believe in nothing but facts. And sodomy became legal in the United States of America in 2003. Okay? So, it's an abomination. Okay? I don't care what nobody try to tell you. It's a perversion. It's shameful. He's steady trying to, warn us, hey, don't do this, don't do that, all right? But look, when you take something and change it from how it's supposed to be and keep it like that for so long, it becomes normal. And that's what they're hoping to do with the perversion that they're trying to create on marriage and everything else. So, we're going to look at fatherhood in middle class and poor communities and understand that now, because there's been such a serious onslaught on fatherhood, that men now don't even like their natural role and what it's supposed to be, because they have grown accustomed to doing so much other stuff until they can't see themselves working 50, 60 hours a week, never having time to go to the club, never having time to be flashy and do all this other stuff, but sacrifice for a wife and some children, because they have blurred the gender role for so long and fought so hard against fatherhood until what's normal and natural for men is starting to become repulsed by men. Okay? We have to stand up for fatherhood. We have to fight for fatherhood, because these people think that in fatherhood, they're supposed to be balling. And when you are a father, you are a leader. But the most important thing about a leader is, most people understand, is a leader is a servant. Okay? The reason that the leader is because he takes care of everybody's needs. You see what I'm saying? He making sure everybody is happy. That's why he the leader. Okay? Don't just look at that seat and think, oh, he's just having a good time and everything is great. No, there's a great responsibility that comes with that, being a leader. You understand me? And so, we have to fight for family and the traditional roles and everything that it is, because the young ladies are rebuffing against their natural role of being a mother, a caregiver, of being submissive, of doing the things that, it takes to create a great nation. And if we have the man and the woman all confused, where they don't want to play their roles, and, we're not having strong families, and we don't have value, and we don't stand for anything, that's when these other countries are going to come in and they're going to take from us, and they're going to take from us in a way that we have not thought about. Okay, this is a national I can't call the right word right now, hallelujah, because I got excited, but a national threat. That's what this is. That's what this is. And we have to restore the family order, because if we need to call up on a draft, if we need to call up on, our fighting men, right now America is in such disarray. I don't know what we will pull up. Okay? And because these people have benefited off the electricity that's already been set up for them, and the water that's already been set up for them and everything, they feel like, they done something, they own something, they owed something. We got to toughen up as a nation. All right. Fathers are much more than sperm donors and ATM machines. All right. Please, let's get a petition going. Let's stand up for fathers' rights. Let's get it established all across the United States of America that when a man and a woman separate, the male child goes with the father. Let's eliminate child support in the form of money. And if the state is going to do something to help a family, we acknowledge that it is done for both parents. And if anyone owes, both parent owes, not just the one parent. It is the responsibility of the parent to take care of the children, not the state. It is the responsibility of the parent to educate the children, not the state. It takes a man and a woman to create a child, so a man and a woman should be responsible for the child that they create. The state should not be automatically giving food stamps and welfare and Section 8 and all this other things that they're doing to interfere with the natural order of things. And because of that, they are breaking America. Okay? And the only thing they're getting out of this is they're keeping a steady number in their penitentiary. The penitentiary is the only business that has been consistent since its invention. Other things have come in and gone out. We know that we're not broken like this as a people, but we understand that this is social engineering. Okay? Last but not least, I'm going to leave you with this. In New York City, an all-female bicycle race happened, and a biological male said he was a woman and entered the race and smoked all the other women and took first place. Women are going to be the biggest, women and boys are going to be the biggest victim in this. And I don't know if we continue to allow this to happen 10, 15 years from now, they may be 20 years from now, the only heterosexual males will be the ones who originally identified as that before they got a chance to change the gender norms. Okay? I would advise you to go and read Genesis chapter 19, verses 1 through 11. And I would say that we've been here before, and if we don't wise up, then we will be Sodom and Gomorrah for the rest of the world to talk about how America was destroyed. So until next time, my Cash App is $Gil Muse. Until my page gets monetized, this has been Papa G saying I love you and I love everybody. Peace.
That shit didn't work. Say all I'm qualified to do is ride, spit a verse. Get my feelings hurt every time I sit in church. Real talking dead at me, nigga got me feeling worse. So I ain't congregating about 7 or 8 months. Broke the promise made to myself and started back blazing blunts. I know that's crazy, huh? Feeling like a bad man. I look at me in the mirror, all I see is my dad, man. I got